Hello everybody and welcome to day 2 of your Keep It Deep challenge in 3 John. And today we're going to be doing verses 5 to 8, which is about the support for Gaius. So let's just read it.
Okay. Beloved, it is a faithful thing you do in all your efforts for these brothers, strangers as they are, who testify to your love before the church. You will do well to send them on their journey in a manner worthy of God, for they have gone out for the sake of the name, accepting nothing from the Gentiles. Therefore we ought to support these people like these, that we may be fellow workers for the truth.
So this is one more passage of positivity, and where John is commending Gaius for his work in the church. And we'll see
especially.
And we'll see in the tomorrow's section, verses 9 and 10, of somebody who isn't so faithful as Gaius. So anyways, let's go through this passage verse by verse. So verse 5 says, Beloved, it is a faithful thing you do in all your efforts for these brothers, strangers as they are.
So here we see how Gaius, here John is exhorting Gaius for his faithfulness. So Gaius is accepting these traveling missionaries into his home, even though they're strangers. And it's nice how he calls these traveling missionaries his brothers in the faith.
So another thing to note, that you may not know somebody, but if they are a believer, they are your brother or sister in the faith, and we must use all our efforts to be faithful to them. And one more thing important to note in this verse is that John is calling Gaius beloved again, which is again showing him his love in the truth and how he's commending him. So moving on to verse 6.
Who testify to your love before the church. You will do well to send them on their journey in a manner worthy of God. So here we can see how John is again telling Gaius how hospitable he's being, and he's also commending him to send him in a manner worthy of God.
And he's saying, you have done well, now keep going, and keep sending them on their journey in a manner worthy of God. And that's another thing that we can pull out from this verse. Everything we do has to be done in a manner worthy of God. We have to keep God the center of everything we do and glorify Him with that.
Let's move on to verse 7.
For they have gone out for the sake of the name, accepting nothing from the Gentiles.
This is a very interesting verse, because of John's use of the sake of the name, which is a clear reference to Jesus. Gaius is fulfilling the Great Commission.
And the name is clearly in this passage, the name is referring to Jesus Christ. We have gone out for the sake of Jesus Christ and His command to us before He went up to heaven, where He said, go out and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of Jesus.
Yes. And the conclusion to this section, therefore we ought to support people like these, that we may be fellow workers for the truth.
And now this is coming close to home, where it's addressing not just Gaius and his congregation, but it's addressing us. We are to support people like these, that we may be fellow workers for the truth.
The truth here is probably Jesus, as we said in the previous video. So we can see the structure of this. The first verse is John telling Gaius how he's doing and how faithful he's being. And the middle section is him exhorting Gaius to continue and send them in a manner worthy of God. And the last verse is a type of conclusion and exhortation.
Yeah, so that's about it, and I hope this helps with your memorization. Keep going. We've actually finished half the book, so great job. And tomorrow we'll see you to discuss Diotrephes' wicked nonsense.
Before we leave, I thought we'll just read the passage one last time.
Beloved, it is a faithful thing you do in all your efforts for these brothers, strangers as they are, who testified your love before the church. You will do well to send them on their journey in a manner worthy of God, for they have gone out for the sake of the name, accepting nothing from the Gentiles. Therefore, we ought to support people like these, that we may be fellow workers for the truth.
Okay, see you tomorrow.